Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Lopez and today we are working on Module 1, Lesson 9, Scientific Notation. So before this Lesson 9, you've been working on learning the laws of exponents, you were working on powers of 10 and how to make the powers of 10, and that all is leading to the scientific notation. So what is scientific notation and how do we use it? A positive finite decimal is said to be written in scientific notation if it is expressed as a product d times 10 to the nth power, where d is a finite decimal, so that it's in between 1 or 10. It's more or equals to, it's greater or equals to 1, but it's less than 10, and n is any integer. So the integer n is called the order of magnitude of the decimal d times 10 to the nth. So what does it mean? What does all means? Scientific notation is a notation written in a form where we have one-digit number multiplied by the power of 10. And that one-digit number has to be equal to or greater than 1 and less than 10. Okay, so it's a one-digit number. For example 1, let's take a look at that. We have a decimal 234 and 567 thousandths, and we need to write that in scientific notation. One thing that we need to know according to the rule for scientific notation is that the number has to be written in between 1 and 10. Right? So instead of putting a decimal after the 4, I want to move it after the 2. This way, my number is going to be 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 34,567 10,000ths. Why do we need to do it? Is because this way only I will have a number that is one-digit number. It's more than 1 and less than 10. If I put my decimal after 3, I will have a 23, and 23 is definitely more than a 10. If I put my decimal before 2, I will have a number that is less than 1. It will be 0.2, right? So I cannot do it either. But if I put my decimal after the 2, my number will be in between 1 and 10. Now, to make it into scientific notation, I need to multiply this number by the power of 10. My question is, how do I do that, right? My first original number was 234, and that's what I want to do to make it back to 234. And how do I do it? Is multiply by 100. And 100 is 10 to the second power, right? So that's why I write 10 to the second power, because if I were to make it a standard form, I would have to move my decimal twice to the right when I multiply by 100, right? So this number, 234 and 567 thousandths, can be written as 2 and 34,567 10,000ths multiplied by 10 to the second power. So let's see why everything else is not going to work here. Here we have so many solutions that could be right, could be wrong. So this one is exactly the one as we have. So that is the solution. That is the correct written scientific notation to this number. Second number is not going to work because 234 is too big. It's more than a 10. Third number is not going to work because my whole number is less than 1. This one is not going to work because obviously this number is way bigger than a 10. 23 is also too big. It's more than a 10. And this number is also way too big. So that is not going to work. The only right way to write scientific notation is this first option. Okay? So let's take a look at exercise 1. Is that written in scientific notation? Why don't you go ahead and do these numbers, exercise 1 through exercise 6. Take a pause this video, do this and come back, and we'll check whether or not your version is the same as mine. All right, so here are my answers. Exercise 1 is written correctly in scientific notation. Our whole number is more than 1 and less than 10, multiplied by the power of 10. Second exercise is not written in scientific notation because the whole number is less than 1. Exercise 3 is written in scientific notation. 7 is in between 1 and 10 and multiplied by the power of 10. Exercise 4 is not written in scientific notation because here we have an addition sign instead of multiplication. Exercise 5, no, it is not scientific notation because 18 is greater than 10. And exercise 6 is written in scientific notation. 8 is in between 1 and 10, and that is multiplied by the power of 10.